Hello and welcome everyone to the July 9th edition of the SIG Contributor Experience meeting. As a reminder, this, just like all upstream Kubernetes meetings, operates under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. At the beginning of the meeting here, we like to offer an opportunity for anyone on the call to introduce themselves if you would like to, totally optional. I use it as an excuse to explain what the meeting is, so I will go first. I'm Keslin Fields, and I am one of the co-chairs of the Special Interest Group for Contributor Experience. This meeting is the biweekly SIG meeting. I guess we technically have weekly meetings, but they alternate time zones. So this is the Americas edition of the meeting. In this meeting, we usually go over a variety of the work going on across the Special Interest Group. So we'll go over various sub-projects of the SIG and what they're doing in this meeting as best we can. And my pronouns are she, her. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves? Totally optional.
Can I?
Absolutely.
Yes, please do.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Swati. This is my first time here in a contributor experience meeting.
We love
Pretty
it.
new to this, but I am interested in learning about Kubernetes and how it's like maintaining a good, thriving developer community. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm from India, and actually the America time is more convenient for me, which is why I'm here. And yes, it's very nice to meet all of you, and I hope I can keep contributing to this working group.
Wonderful. We're glad to have you. As we go through, if there are good opportunities for first contributions, we'll try to point those out, and don't hesitate to reach out on Slack. You're welcome to ping me anytime, and I know some of the other folks are up for that as well. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves?
I can. Hi, I'm Mario. I'm a co-chair for SIG ContribEx as well. Pronouns are he, him. I work for Kubernetes, and I am also the current organizer for the next Maintainer Summit.
On top of many, many other things.
Yes.
We'll see how many we get into.
All the things.
Would anyone else like to introduce themselves?
Sure. I'm Chris Short. Been around the project since 2017. I've been in ContribEx most of that time, so if there's a question you might have, I probably have seen it before. And if it's brand new, yay! I like ideas and problems, stuff like that. So yeah. I work for a startup called CIQ. We're the primary backers of Rocky Linux, and I'm the head of open source there.
Wow, that was such a level of excitement, Mario.
I know, right?
Didn't know you still had that much energy left.
I like Rocky Linux.
Good. I like to hear that.
Can give it a try as well. I'm Fred. I work at SAS Institutes. I've been involved in the Kubernetes project for some years now, also with ContribEx Comms. I'm currently the Kubernetes 134 emeritus advisor, and that's it.
That's it. That's all. Unimportant.
NBD.
It's in fact very important and awesome. Welcome, everyone. Last housekeeping item before we dive into our agenda. We like to ask for a note taker during these meetings. The role of the note taker is to follow along with the discussion and take notes as best you can in case anyone didn't get to attend the meeting or wants to check back later on something that was discussed. It's really good to have notes, and it's nice for someone to be focused on trying to do that. So would anyone like to be our note taker today?
Yeah, work isn't going to let me focus on that today, so.
That's okay.
If nobody wants it, today I'm at my computer, so I can give it a go. But I'm
interested, but at the same time, I don't know if I'll be able
Right.
to distinguish between what's relevant and what isn't. So That's
Give it a
why
try. Best way to learn is to try.
Perfect.
We'll help you out. Really, it's a
Yeah,
group
don't
effort.
worry. Yeah, it really
Okay.
is.
Yay, thank you for volunteering. Swati is our note taker. Awesome.
right.
And there is actually one more housekeeping item, which is this is very casual and we just kind of chat throughout the whole thing. So don't hesitate to ask questions. Did I cut off a question there by saying that? All righty then. We will dive into our agenda. Feel free to interrupt at any time with any questions or anything. So first thing is events. Let's talk about Maintainer Summit, Mario. Your favorite
Yes.
topic, I'm sure.
Maintainer Summit is coming up. We are currently refactoring the program committee. The program committee will be 6 people out of the community. There had been a call. There was really a lot of interest. 6 people will be selected and will then join the program committee. Yes, we also have people from the Kubernetes project in this. Awards. Any graduated project have the right to give awards, which is nice. There is a limitation that has been created, and the limitation will be that it will be 3 awards per SIG.
Oh, nice.
Because
I think that's normal, isn't it? Oh no, I guess it was 6 was the limit last time.
Eventually, yeah, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we don't want or the idea is also that now every graduated project will get awards, and they will look into Kubernetes, how they did awards, and what we are basically Kubernetes will take most of the time, which means that a lot of awards will also be there. Award design might be centralized because it was always hard to get designs for awards. So this is something that will be centralized, and this could be beneficial for people who will be on site. Let's put it this way. I don't want to spill more.
Sounds good to me. Because otherwise we need to continue to have an award lead within the community or something, and it would be a mess.
We still need one, and this is something that I will basically
design lead.
We don't need a design lead now. Yeah, so I will. We had this interest form for leads where they could vote or where the awards should be held, and the decision was, yeah, we still go with North America because it's end of the year. It's more feasible to have at the end of the year, and yada yada yada. I'm happy with this. This was also the majority vote, so we are good to go with this now. And we also ask for people who want to help with awards. 3 people raised their hand, and I will basically brief them and hand it over to them. Which also means that ContribEx leads need to talk about who we want to give an award soon.
Because
deadline will be end of August. I hope it's end of August. I need to double check, but
you just hope it's not earlier than that. I hope.
Yeah, I hope it's not earlier than that.
Because that would mean end of July.
No, it's
or
August. I just can't remember the day.
Which we already have. By the way, Maintainer Summit CFP is open and closes July 21st.
Yes, and we only received a couple of proposals yet, and I strongly encourage people to hand in their proposal because you will get a fully blown Kubernetes KubeCon ticket if you secure a speaking slot at Maintainer Summit.
Which is nice.
Do we want to put something out to the contributor channel about it, or is that more trouble than it's worth?
I mean, we communicated for the CFP, and I will also do a blast. So I will do a blast to all of the projects who are eligible to hand in CFPs, because this involves a lot of Slack channels in the CNCF Slack as well, and some project channels in Kubernetes Slack. And Discord servers and other Slack servers, and you can't imagine. It's a lot. We have now 210 projects in the CNCF.
Wow.
And they're all angry about something.
Can we
Good Lord.
please don't go into this direction?
No, I don't want to be. No,
Can we please not?
All right. But comms is a good point. We
All
should
right.
probably do some comms about Maintainer Summit in general. Several
Yes.
individual things. The CFP awards for chairs and tech leads.
Yeah.
Those are specific.
Registration. Also, register early, because looking into another thing is we will have a centralized design for the Maintainer Summit T-shirt, and we will have a call for designs for the Maintainer Summit T-shirt. So everyone can basically participate to create the design for the Maintainer Summit.
But that'll be a CNCF-led drive for the Maintainer
Yeah,
Summit designs, right?
the thing will be organized by the event staff. So the good thing is we don't need to do manual work within ContribEx. Basically, the CNCF takes some work away from us that we no longer need to push.
Which is one of the biggest benefits of doing this.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Beside this,
can I make a request that we at least ask CNCF to make fitted shirts this time?
this already has been brought up, and this was that's also, you should register early, because we will have in the registration form a form for get fitted shirts, because then we can order fitted shirts.
Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Fun fact: we also had the thing that people were happy with not having fitted shirts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Never please everybody.
Nope.
But
80-20
yes,
rule.
we had the same discussion. Actually, we had this discussion on Monday, and this was brought up.
Great. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I hate to see people
I
complain
also
on Twitter about things that could have been done better.
I know, but also I was unhappy with the print of the shirt, because the quality of the print of the shirt was really awful. But this is not something. This is just supplier.
It just happens.
It's a supplier problem, and it was a supplier problem. But we have now more time. The last time we didn't have too much time towards Maintainer Summit. Now we have more time. And also the planning for Maintainer Summit Europe will start probably in September.
Wow. Okay.
So that we have an overlap and enough time for all of this.
How is the selection of new Maintainer Summit leads going to go? When is that going to open up?
CNCF will reach out to people in September.
Okay.
If you're interested, tell someone who is tell me, or tell any the people from CNCF, like Jiffy, Bob. Jiffy and Bob are the main people who would be the interesting ones to receive recommendations who should lead a Maintainer Summit, or if you are interested in leading a Maintainer Summit.
It would be very nice if we had one from within SIG ContribEx, so that we can continue doing these updates in these meetings.
Yes.
I guess it'd be good to have a note.
It's fun. CNCF event stuff. It is
fun.
For
CNCF,
certain definitions of fun.
CNCF event stuff is really, really helpful, and you got to work with Bob and Jiffy and CNCF event stuff. And
that's kind of
True.
Good bonus.
And you get to plan something for the community.
Yay!
Also, if your company wants to sponsor the Maintainer Summit, the Maintainer Summit is listed in the official sponsoring document. And the reason why I'm saying this in this vehement way is we had complaints that we didn't had an evening event for
Oh yeah.
London, and the main reason for this is funding.
Yeah.
Budget.
Because as the moment we enter an offsite location for this, it means that we roughly spend $20 to $25 to $30,000 for this event, for this evening event, just for the evening event. So this means that you need sponsoring there. The benefit is you don't have to sponsor the whole evening event. There are sponsor packages that you can say like, I give a little bit. And if you are interested in, and this is not me as CNCF speaking, but just as someone speaking who wants an evening event, because I think this is very beneficial to this, is you can go to cncf.io/sponsor, and then you can see the sponsor prospectus, and there somewhere is Maintainer Summit. And there you get all of the information. And you can also message this into your company that it might be beneficial because you also have a presence with job board postings for maintainers and stuff like this to do this.
Nice.
I'm amazed by that short link. Did not know that worked.
The good thing is, this is always the newest and latest version of this document, because the document deep link is changing often.
Fancy.
I do appreciate the CNCF links like qcon.io and /sponsor and all those things, because it matters.
And let me quickly find the page. The page for this is Maintainer Summit. Maintainer Summit is on page 16.
Yes, which
So
I was about to post on my own social media.
All right, but yeah, that's enough advertisement for this. But it's our benefit, so that's why I do advertisement.
Right. Oh, thank you, Mario.
It's important. We can't have an evening event if we don't have sponsors. We can barely hold the regular event if we don't have sponsors, because space and catering is very expensive.
Yeah.
So thank you for that overview, Mario. And I also want to call out, thank you, Swathi. You're doing an amazing job with taking notes.
These are actually the best notes that we had in a while.
I'm glad.
Thank you. We appreciate your contribution today.
Yes, it is a contribution. It counts.
Absolutely. And we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is mentoring. To give a brief overview of mentoring in the state of the world. So we have a mentoring subproject. We've had a mentoring subproject for a long time, but in the last couple of years, it's been really struggling, doesn't have enough contributors. We could really use like a program project management kind of focused person who wants to get involved with mentoring. Because a lot of what the mentoring subproject does is keep track of the like big mentoring programs like LFX mentorship and Google Summer of Code and things like that Kubernetes can participate in by submitting projects, and then those programs pay the mentees to work on that project for like a summer, whatever their term is. And so we need someone who can keep track of all of those and tell the leads throughout the project, hey, there's an opportunity for you to get a mentor or a mentee. Do you have any projects that you want to submit? Here's the timelines and stuff. And we just don't have anyone who can do that regularly right now. There was someone who started trying to do it late last year, and many contributors are volunteers. So sometimes that doesn't go on long term.
Yeah.
So that's kind of generally where we're at with mentoring. There is one specific update I wanted to call out for mentoring. Let me see if I can bring up the... Oh, yes, I do have it up. LFX mentorship term 3 call for proposals is open now. Let me copy Josh's blurb into our notes. if I can find the right doc. There we go. And then the other thing that the mentoring subproject does is run group mentoring cohorts, which is like internally, like a SIG wants to train up existing contributors into higher leadership positions. Like they want to get more reviewers, they want to have more approvers. There's like a ladder. We talk about it in new contributor orientation. So that's what the group mentoring cohorts are. I don't know of any active ones. I think there might be one or something. So I don't know of any updates there. But LFX Term 3 call for proposals is open now. If anyone has any projects that they want to submit to LFX.
I might
Anyone else
drop
have
you
any mentoring?
a DM about this, because actually I was thinking, to what extent does my own involvement in experience in the releases and etc. And now that I'm actually not anticipating any release team work, because I'm the EA, and after that, unless someone pulls me in, like Al Pacino in The Godfather, I'm not really anticipating doing another stint. So yeah, I'll reach out and I'll discuss this with you and others to see if it's possibly something that might fit what I know how to do, but no promises, obviously.
Always. It is open source contribution.
Yeah.
But I think that would be really good. You've shown repeatedly that you have very strong like organizational and program management skills. So, and you mentor new folks well too. So I could see that working out well. Thank you for offering to look into it.
Well, thank you. I'll certainly read a bit more about what expected, and we can then discuss afterwards if it's something that we should try, or maybe there's someone else involved. I'm okay either way. You were describing things, and I was thinking, well, actually, this sort of ticks several boxes in stuff that I did before.
Yay! I'm glad to hear it. If we say it enough times, it'll resonate with someone. We'll talk about that more on Slack, and we'll probably want to talk with Josh about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for offering. Any other questions, comments about mentoring? All right, then we will move on to comms. Is there anyone here who participates in the comms team? Most of us do. And I enjoy making that joke, even though it's very old. So there's one thing that I wanted to bring up for comms. I put it in our notes for the upcoming meeting on Friday already. This is from the Chairs and TLs meeting this week. There was a discussion about the meet and greet. The meet and greet has been rough the last few years. Basically, what the meet and greet tends to end up being these days is all of the Kubernetes contributors at KubeCons getting together and eating lunch together. And maybe a couple of attendees will find the space and be willing to talk with us. But it hasn't been very effective at engaging attendees at KubeCon with us as maintainers. So we've done a little bit to try and make it better for that, but I think the size of the event and various challenges just make it really difficult to use the meet and greet as a way to meet attendees and talk about Kubernetes contribution. So the idea that was proposed in the Chairs and TLs meeting was to encourage SIG leads to shift toward doing kiosks in the project pavilion instead. That's something that SIGs generally haven't done. SIG security does it, and SIG etcd has done it. And you can sign up for just one shift at a booth. Like you don't have to have a booth the whole KubeCon. But that's been one challenge that has kept folks from doing it, is worrying about staffing it. So chairs and TLs in the meeting were very in favor of this idea. They agreed that they weren't getting what they wanted out of meet and greet. It sounded like we had a couple folks on the call who had done kiosks and talked about how wonderful they were, that they get a lot more engagement with attendees. They have really good conversations at the kiosks.
Mhm.
So we want to do some promotion, encouraging SIGs to sign up for a kiosk, and that closes July 21st.
Whoa.
I'm
Okay.
in favor
Same.
because
Hard
this
same.
eliminates the meet and greet disaster planning, and also the problem is that usually when we have the meet and greet stuff, it happens when people are not around because other things as you mentioned, are happening at KubeCon. So for example, it always collides with the for the folks that are in the governing board in one way or another. So with the extended governing board with tabs and TOC as well. So we lose there already folks who could be in the thing. And the only thing that I would see what could be a problem, there are only so many project pavilions or project pavilion booths, and we also have all of the projects and stuff like this. Maybe we group because booths could be denied, let's put it this way. And also we have some SIGs who could not represent themselves because, let's face it, SIG Infra probably only have 1 or 2 people around for the whole KubeCon.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a good point.
Another point that was brought up in the chairs and TLs meeting is we do have quite a number of SIGs. I checked the new contributor orientation. The last time I counted them up, it was 24 SIGs and 7 working groups.
Yes.
So that's 31 total groups that would have to get slots in the pavilion. So we're counting on not everyone doing.
Yeah. Or we do a Kubernetes booth.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible idea. But I could
someone
see
has
how
to coordinate that within the community.
Scaling that and actually getting booth slots filled would be very hard. Yeah.
That's the thing that's kept us from doing that in the past. I do agree that it would be probably more effective in terms of engaging with attendees because it's like Kubernetes. I know what that is. I want to talk to people about that. SIG security. What?
Even worse, SIG Node.
SIG Node. Yes, I came to KubeCon because I want to talk to SIG Node.
People are
not many people
aware
do
of the model of what is a SIG.
Yeah.
Right.
People don't know.
Well, that's part of the problem, right? Like the SIG meet and greet, what's a SIG, is a real thing.
Yeah. We changed it to Kubernetes meet and greet, and we tried another title or two, but yeah, always had that problem.
In my experience, what ends up happening is that it's a good place for people that already know each other to actually continue to talk with each other, not necessarily to mingle and to incorporate new people.
Right.
I
Which
mean,
is what we
I
really
suppose
want.
each experience is different, but that's what I remember. Even for myself, I ended up gravitating towards the people that I already knew. So yeah, it's hard for completely new people to make use of it.
Yeah,
I think for this time.
Go ahead. Wow. Go ahead, Mario.
So the booth would be beneficial because you have the tours that are taking place where they basically stop in front of every booth, and you have like really, really large crowds, and people start chatting to each other. And I also heard that people were asking, why does Kubernetes not have a booth?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've heard that before as well.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I think this is like, I remember my first meet and greet was in like Seattle 2018 or 19, I think. It was hopping, right? But we were also a much smaller project then. And this is one of those things I feel like as we've matured as a project that can kind of get cycled out because I don't think it scales well. I don't think we can get all the SIGs there anymore, and just a number of issues. So yeah, this is big project problems, I feel like.
I do agree that I think ultimately a Kubernetes booth would probably be better.
Agreed.
But given that we have until July 21st.
Yeah.
And granted how overwhelmed everyone is right now, I think we move for promoting SIGs getting their own kiosk for now, and we can talk more about that as a iteration.
Like, we could even ask CNCF to like, once we go and talk to all the different SIGs, like ask CNCF just keep SIGs booths for us, and the SIGs can cycle in, or whatever the number ends up being, right? Like SIGs can cycle in and out every day, or at morning, evenings, you know.
Also, I have a fun fact on the Kubernetes booth idea that I will save for after the recording.
Oh,
We love you,
got
YouTube.
Join the meeting if you want all the bits behind it.
Yeah. Cool. So I think this is a really cool idea. Josh did want to connect with George and the folks at the CNCF who run the project pavilion just to make totally sure before we potentially slam their request form with SIGs requesting booths. So we should probably make sure we get that.
Maybe we can also, I can basically post in the TL and Chairly channel, especially for the numbers, and then basically make the proposition of, hey, let's do a Kubernetes booth and stuff it.
Yeah, I think even though if you do the chairs and TLs and you get interest, the problem will be coordinating timing. Because like if 5 of the folks say, yes, I want to do it, but we're only all available at the same time on the same day. Like we could have everyone there, but it might be a very crowded booth. And also, who's going to staff it at this other time where no one's available?
Yeah.
That'll be the challenge. So I think maybe leave that for next time. We can discuss it more offline. And we probably need to discuss with George and them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But we'll discuss it more in the comms meeting on Friday as well.
You know, we should think about doing this for EU, maybe NA next year, if we can get our ducks in a row for it.
Oh, also another item for contributor comms, even though it's technically in mentoring, but you know how this is, new contributor orientation is next week for July. We have like a little private channel of folks who are interested in running new contributor orientations. We have someone from EU who we haven't been able to really engage with. I wanted to post in there that we're like a week out, we should create the good first issue and reach out to the SIGs and see if that person wants to kind of shadow me as I do those things.
I also need someone who does Europe next week, because I have because my dentist appointment yesterday went horribly wrong. I have another follow-up dentist appointment right at the point where next week when the meeting would be.
We're on the road for the next 2 weeks, so I probably won't be in any meetings going for that period. So yeah.
Okie dokie. We have 2 folks who could run Americas, but yeah, we really need to train up newlies in Europe. So if you're interested in doing new contributor orientation, we have a standard slide deck with a script. All you have to do is read the script to present the slide deck. And then the idea is that there's a significant chunk of Q&A time at the end. So hopefully you'd have other contributors on who could answer questions during the Q&A portion. So it's meant to be very accessible even for folks who are relatively new to contribution. If you're interested in helping with new contributor orientation, reach out, let me know. When I've trained up other folks to give new contributor orientation, we've had like a little session where we go through the slide deck together, talk through any questions, talk through how to run the Zoom meeting. So we can help you out if you are interested in helping with that. Cool. Shall we move on to our next item? I'm sure that we could come up with things to talk about with comms all day, but that's what Friday is for. Moving on to contributor documentation. So this is about the Cates.dev website. I doubt anyone here has any updates, but any updates on contributor documentation or the Cates.dev website?
Maybe Sayak has an update.
Maybe.
Have you done anything on that recently, Sayak?
Nope. I'm currently just pushing hard towards syncing up the Kubernetes docs website because the contributor website is already updated up to 6 and 0.6. So the idea is to migrate to 0.7 at the same time, because 0.7 is the one which has the breaking change. But yeah, the website docs is a much larger beast than I had previously thought. I realized it was large, but not this
Yeah.
large.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. So I'm pushing towards it, but no updates yet on the contributor website.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you for taking on the
So
doc side.
we should put a note in there working on updating the doc site and planning a mutual upgrade of the underlying software.
Doxy. Doxy, right?
Doxy.
Yeah.
Doxy and Hugo, both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which piece needs to be updated?
Probably both.
Yep.
Probably. For this specific upgrade, is it still both or is it one specific thing? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I know Doxy has the Hugo version, the like minimum viable Hugo version kind of thing.
I believe we are already at a high Hugo version. Like Doxy supports a lower Hugo version than the one that we are running, and it's running well. So I don't think that we'll be upgrading Hugo soon. Recently, Hugo actually had a huge breaking change. I believe the last version of Hugo that they launched, I think a week back or so,
Oh,
had a
God.
huge breaking change. So yeah, like templating
Off I
functions
go to
and
read
stuff changed.
release notes. Jeez.
And I mean, everything is on zero major version, so they can break whatever they want, right? But yeah, so I gotta be careful, not just blindly upgrading during whenever I upgrade Hugo. But yeah, upgrading Doxy is the first item. I believe we should be able to upgrade to at least 0.11 without touching Hugo. But let's see.
And you're good, Swathi. Thank you. And thank you so much, Sayak. So much appreciation for you working on this.
It's been a blast.
Yay! I'm so glad to hear it. Finally,
That's
took
awesome.
years, but finally making progress on that.
Yep.
Thank you so much. And we'll move on to our next item in the agenda, which is moderation and media. Zoom, Slack, YouTube, calendar issues, mailing lists, all of those kinds of things. I forgot I added that, the mailing or the calendar issues and mailing lists to this list. I do have one thing on calendar issues that I will bring up. Something that we've learned from the Chairs and TLs meeting is that Google Calendar does not treat calendar invites with nested lists the way that we might like.
No, it does not.
Yeah. So basically, if you have a list that you invite to a calendar invite, it invites the list as a unit, not
In
the
that
individuals
moment.
within the lists.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, in that moment. It doesn't update when the list gets updated. So this is a big problem for the Chairs and TLs meeting, and I'm sure other meetings in the community as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking into how we might. There's like a way that you can create scripts for Google Workspace stuff, and I think with the APIs available, there should be a way that you can run a script that grabs all of the individuals from the subgroups and adds those to the meeting invite and just run that on like a monthly basis.
That's nice.
Yeah,
So
that'd
I
be
started
fun.
looking into that yesterday. I have no time to actually implement this, but I considered asking for help with it, but probably needs to be a ContribEx lead with access to the lists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need admin
so-
access to the calendars and the lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FYI, if you know things about Google Apps scripts or scripting things in Google Workspace, would love to learn from you.
I must admit, I usually use for this Gemini, and Gemini writes some pretty
Yeah.
written scripts for
I have
Google.
it.
I would outsource
That's
this to
good.
Claude. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like you have
I
pretty
had
good
it.
access to Gemini.
So you think I might?
You might. I don't know.
Yeah, I usually don't say it in my intro, but I work for Google. So yeah, I did have Gemini generate an example script. It needs some modification stuff. Also, fun fact, going off on a tangent slightly with the generating code stuff. I was at an event recently where I was talking about how I use AI when I'm working on code stuff. And the person I was talking with responded, "Oh, so you don't take your hands off the wheel?" And I was like, "What?"
Oh,
And then
yeah.
like
You
a
don't
week or
vibe
two
code.
after that. Yeah, like a week or two
Yeah.
after that, I tried an actual vibe coding tool for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, no, I don't."
Yeah, no. No, not the right
Um,
approach. But
Vibe
For
coding
maybe.
is a thing.
Yeah, for anyone who has not tried that, the difference is, like, I will ask the AI, like, draft this out for me, and then I'll take that draft and I'll mess with it and learn what it is and ask for iterations and kind of iterate manually like that. Whereas
Mhm.
vibe coding, you're like, do this thing, and then you can just set it to like auto accept changes and stuff, and it just goes.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
it's
uncomfortable to me. It's
I don't like
uncomfortable.
it.
Like it gives me the ick.
yeah,
I've seen
no,
people
like
have success with it, but I have also spent like $1 trying to create something that it didn't do.
so yeah, I have seen some interesting Reddit threads about vibe coding. Like, hey, my entire application stack got hacked. How do I recover from it? How do I implement authentication or anything security related? So please don't be vibe coding for Kubernetes.
API secrets hard coded in the front end.
Yeah,
It is at
stuff like
the
that.
discretion of the SIG. But yeah,
But I
generally
mean,
SIGs don't like it when you do that.
yeah, no, for something like Google Workspaces, yeah, I would 100% trust Gemini over myself to be able to do anything with that.
Yeah. Especially for a private meeting with a limited guest list.
Bingo.
We'll figure that out. So, tangent aside, that is a thing that I'm working on. If you know things about Google Workspace automation, would love to talk with you. Any other moderation and media things that folks want to bring up? Like things about Slack or Zoom or
No.
YouTube.
I don't want to talk about Slack for
Agreed.
a really long time.
Yeah, please.
Never again. But it will be again. But anyway,
the-
if you're not familiar
is-
with that drama, look up CNCF and Slack and you'll find it.
I mean, is the danger past or
There's
is the danger
let's
still?
put it this way. There's currently negotiations between the Slack owning company and CNCF to find a way how to proceed forward with this. We might need to migrate away. We might not need to migrate away. We might want to migrate away, but currently there's no ultimate decision. But there's also like now this is a new deadline. So let's lawyers and C-level talk to lawyers and C-level, and we are just there.
Yeah.
So basically, as Swathi put in the notes, never again for now.
Never again for now. That's awesome.
Perfection. Yeah. There'll be more
It's
discussions
fun.
about Discord and such, but
Oh yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It was the week where I slept the least for the least time.
Ah, sorry,
it was
man.
rough.
All right.
Zoom, I don't think there's anything in particular. YouTube, as far as we know, the automation is going okay. Oh, actually, a comms thing that the YouTube bit reminds me of. I looked at Buffer this week, was showing it to someone to just explain how Buffer works. And I noticed that there were no messages in queue for us, which is unusual.
Wow.
It can
That's
happen,
weird.
but we might want to check the automation.
Looking.
Just to make sure. It's really more about it. This note really goes in the comms section. Check automation for social media posts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Swathi. I got reminded of it because YouTube uses the same automation tools,
Oh,
but it's
nice.
really a comms thing.
All right, I've added it there.
Thank you. You're doing so amazing. So good. Yes. So I think that's probably good for moderation and media. We have 10 minutes left. Any updates on GitHub management? More of the GitHub management folks joined the APAC timed SIG ContribEx meeting, but anyone here have any GitHub management things they want to talk about? I think the org membership audit is currently in progress.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
People can answer and come back. I lost the window of our thing. People can complain if they don't want to get removed and basically show stuff that they did. Some discussions have come up there. I'm abstaining myself from this whole discussion because of bias.
Because you don't need more things on your plate, for one.
Well, yeah.
That's also one of the topics. Yeah, but basically that's the TLDR, and once this is done, we will do the we will just merge the PR, the updated PR, and then.
To explain that more succinctly for notes, we currently have a GitHub org membership audit in progress, which is our process for determining if folks need to be removed from org membership. Org membership in the Kubernetes org on GitHub gives folks extra privileges that are useful for contributing, like more access to using our Prowbot, which is our automation that we use to do like labeling and various stuff with our PRs and stuff. So org membership is really useful for contribution, but if you're not actively contributing, then we don't want folks to just sit there with org membership and not be using it. So we have a process to remove folks, and that's ongoing. We do it like once a year. So
Okay.
or can be removed from org membership.
So yeah, I'm looking at automation. It looks like
Perfect.
Nothing has
Is broken.
No, it doesn't look like anything's broken. But I think with it being a holiday week here in the U.S., that's part of it.
Yeah, that can also just happen. Good to check.
Yeah, no, I
we
appreciate you
are
mentioning
nearing summer time, and people are slowing down.
True.
Happens every year.
In the Northern Hemisphere, sorry. Northern Hemisphere is approaching summer.
Welcome to Kubernetes Contribution, where you can learn how to keep time zones in your brain.
So true.
So next item, we've got 7 minutes left. Elections. So the elections process is spinning up. They're working on selecting election officers right now. The steering committee election is typically held in like August. So expect updates on that process for the next few weeks. That's really close. Why is it so close?
Because we started late.
That too. That and time exists. Over the next few weeks, probably. Not just in a few weeks, but probably over the next few weeks.
I had one topic, but I can't remember. It crept in my brain and then it left for a couple of times this meeting.
Oh no. And we have reached the end of our agenda. So if you do have any open mic discussion items, or if you want to go back and talk about anything that we talked about today, this is your chance in these last 5 minutes.
It might be the kiosk thing that we already discussed.
Yeah, very interesting topic for discussion. We could go on that all day for sure. Any other open mic discussion items, or we will end our recording? We're going to think of something immediately after we stop the recording for sure.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, then. I think we've covered pretty much everything. You can always reach out to us on Slack for asynchronous communication if you need anything. And we'll see folks again at the next one of these in a couple of weeks for the Americas edition. The APAC edition will be next week. So we
Bye,
will go
YouTube.
ahead and end our recording. Goodbye, friends on YouTube.
Cheers.